Most people think self-awareness means knowing your strengths and weaknesses. But psychology says that's barely scratching the surface. Real self-awareness runs deeper into how you process emotions, relationships, and even your own flaws. Here are 10 signs you're more self-aware than most people realize. 1. You notice your emotional reactions before you act on them. Most people react first and explain later. You pause. You feel the anger, the hurt, the excitement rising, and you name it before it controls you. Psychologists call this affect labeling. Simply identifying an emotion reduces its intensity. It's not weakness. It's a rare kind of control most people never develop. 2. You can hold two conflicting feelings at once. You can love someone and be frustrated with them. You can be proud of a decision and still doubt it. Most people force themselves to pick one feeling and bury the other. You don't. This is called emotional complexity, and it's one of the strongest markers of psychological maturity. 3. You take feedback without collapsing or defending. Criticism doesn't send you into silence or excuses. You actually sit with it. You ask yourself, is this true? That's not an accident. Low self-awareness reacts with ego. High self-awareness reacts with curiosity even when it stings. 4. You recognize your own patterns before others point them out. You notice when you're repeating an old habit, falling into the same argument, or self-sabotaging again. Most people need someone else to say it out loud. You catch yourself mid-pattern. Psychologists call this internal self-monitoring, and it's the foundation of real change. 5. You know the difference between your thoughts and the truth. Your mind generates fear, doubt, and worst-case scenarios constantly. Most people believe every thought is fact. You've learned to separate the thought from reality. This is called cognitive diffusion, and it's a skill therapists spend years teaching people. You already do it instinctively. 6. You understand your triggers instead of just reacting to them. You know exactly what sets you off. Being ignored, being rushed, being misunderstood, and instead of exploding, you trace it back to where it started. That awareness doesn't erase the trigger, but it gives you the power to respond instead of react. 7. You're comfortable saying, I don't know. Low self-awareness fears looking uncertain. High self-awareness knows uncertainty is honest. You'd rather admit a gap in your knowledge than fake confidence you don't have. That single habit builds more trust than most people realize. 8. You notice how your mood affects your perception. When you're anxious, you know the world will look more threatening than it actually is. When you're low, you know your thoughts will turn darker than the facts support. Most people mistake their mood for objective truth. You know your mood is a lens, not a fact. 9. You can apologize without over-explaining or under-explaining. You don't drown people in excuses, and you don't throw out a hollow sorry just to end the conversation. You actually acknowledge what happened. Psychologists say this balance, ownership without self-punishment, is one of the clearest signs of emotional maturity. 10. You know silence doesn't mean something is wrong. Most people spiral the moment a conversation goes quiet, assuming rejection or anger. You've learned that silence is just silence. Not every gap needs to be filled with reassurance or anxiety. That single distinction saves you from 1,000 imagined conflicts. Self-awareness isn't about knowing everything about yourself. It's about noticing yourself in real time, your thoughts, your patterns, your triggers, before they run the show. Most people go through life reacting on autopilot. You've quietly built the habit of watching your own mind work. If any of this felt like someone was reading your inner world, that's not a coincidence. Your awareness isn't a burden. It's a skill most people never build. If you want to understand your own mind at this level every week, subscribe, because here we don't talk about surface-level advice. We talk about the psychology that actually explains you.